Hi, I'm Marty Nemko. So often my clients apply for jobs they feel well qualified for, and they apply using solid tactics in writing a cover letter, including collateral material, and in the interviews, and the follow up, and the references. And so they're optimistic, and yet they don't get the job. And that, for such people, occurs in job after job. Not infrequently, they learn of who got the job and they're shocked or angry, or both. That person was far less qualified than I am. Well, what's a good job seeker who's constantly passed over to do? Well, here's some ideas that are derived from my new book, Careers for Dummies. First, look inward. It's easy to blame your rejections on external factors like age or race or gender. And yeah, sometimes those are at play, but it doesn't serve you to focus on those immutable things unless you want to become a social activist to make those less of a factor. So first, ask yourself, if I were the employer and hiring purely on the merits, would I likely be the number one pick? If not, do you want to upskill? Do you want to improve your attitude? Now let's turn to reacting outward. It's become a cliche that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing again and again, yet expecting a different result. Well, if your repeated efforts haven't yielded a good job, do you need to change your strategy, your tactics? For example, should you change your job target? For example, downward or upward? Or to something that accentuates your strengths more? Or focus your search on a geographic area where you might be more desirable? Or should you focus on a smaller company or a larger company or a nonprofit or government agency? Do you need to more broadly invoke your network to tout you when you apply, or to help you get informational interviews with people who could make you an inside candidate when an appropriate job comes available, or even create a job for you? Should your applications include collateral material, such as a white paper that summarizes your thinking about how to do that target job well? Or do you simply need to job search more thoroughly? Many people do what I call a drips and drabs job search. They apply for just a couple of jobs a week and do a little bit of networking and maybe cold call a couple of employers. Well, such people may well give up before getting a decent job offer. Well, I've written an article that describes what a thorough job search looks like. I think it's called the 1 week job search. But let's say you've tried all those things, or you doubt that they'll work in your case. Is it time to consider self-employment? But the person who tried unsuccessfully to be employed by others and so felt forced to be self-employed is rarely the kind of person who's a natural entrepreneur. So for such people, it's usually wise to consider what I call low-risk self-employment. I've also written an article on that, which I think is called, I think it's Low Risk, High Payoff Self-Employment or something like that. Just Google it. What's the takeaway? Even though the unemployment rate is the lowest in 18 years, many good people can't find good employment. You see, the unemployment rate is misleading. It doesn't count the millions of people who have given up on looking for a job, or who are employed, but only in a low-pay interim job. For example, that cliche of the degree-holding barista or Uber driver. I do hope that even if you have been rejected ad nauseum, that some of the ideas in this little talk offer realistic basis for hope. Again, they derive primarily from my new book, Careers for Dummies. Thank you for watching. I'm Marty Nemko.